Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back to the Leches Sports podcast, brought to you with El Mundo Boston. My name is Gilly Matos, as always, joined by my good friends, longtime Boston Red Sox announcer, longtime baseball lifer, Uri Berenguer. How you doing, Yuri?
I'm all right, Gil. What's going on, man? I'm chilling. I'm literally chilling. It's freezing in Boston. We're all getting ready for the snow that's coming. It's on our way. I know you're doing the same. And also getting ready for Christmas. I mean, what's going on? It seems like it happened to me again. Does somebody keep on moving Christmas closer and closer and closer every year? Shouldn't it be on the same day every year? Because every year it's like, damn, it snuck up on me. It snuck up on me. It snuck up on me again. But I'm dealing with it.
Sneaks up on you. And also joined by Omar Cabrera. Omar, reporter for the New England Revolution and New England Patriots. What's up, Did Christmas sneak up on you too?
Man, I think everything snuck up on us this year, bro. I'm so happy this year's over because I feel like everything keeps sneaking up this year. I can't wait for 2021. By the way, thank you for making my year much better. Without you guys, honestly, I mean it, it probably would have been worse, man. So thank you both because this year was a little better thanks to Tres Leches Sports and to you guys. Thank you.
Ay, tan lindo.
That's really nice. You know, I thought he would save it for the end, but he's gonna give the virtual hug here.
See, that's what he does. That's what he does. That's exactly what O does. That's why everybody likes him. Everybody thinks that he's the nice guy. Everybody thinks, he's such a good friend. Oh, you should hang out with him more often. No, you don't know the real O. You don't know him. That's what he does. He butters everybody up.
It's the persona.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, guys, as always, the Tres Leches Sports podcast, we're going to bring you 3 topics in the world of sports. So let's get started right away, guys. We are in late December, week 15 of the NFL season. And as always, late December and the holidays have a way of revealing to us what NFL teams are, as the cliche says, contenders and who are pretenders. Yuri, let's start off with you. Who are your favorites in each conference to compete for the Super Bowl?
You know what, dude? First of all, I got to say this. I know I've bashed on the NFL a lot because I will continue doing it because I really just don't like the way they've dealt with this whole coronavirus thing. It's been a really messed up season. There's so many things that, even results that you really have to question, the way that the season has developed. But I do have to applaud them because you know what? For good or for bad, they've pushed through. We've had an NFL season. So at the end of the day, I do have to applaud that. But with that said, also, it kind of makes the picks a little harder because you do have to take that into consideration. There are some teams that have won some games that maybe they shouldn't have, or some teams that lost some games that maybe they shouldn't have. But then there are those teams that just are head and shoulders above everyone else. And those are the obvious ones. I mean, right off the bat, my number one is, like I think it should be everyone's number one, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs right now with a record of 12-1. Guys, they've won 22 of their last 23 games. 22 of the last 23 games the Kansas City Chiefs have won. They're 12-1 in the season. And, I mean, all you really have to say is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. That's really all you have to say. The season that those guys are having, that offense is unstoppable. That offensive line is really second to none. Do you understand that Patrick Mahomes, even though he's a mobile quarterback, it seems like he doesn't really have to be that mobile because he has an offensive line that has only given up 18 sacks all season long. That offensive line is really the reason. I mean, I know Patrick Mahomes is the guy, but that offensive line just makes his job so much easier. The guy can sit back, have a cup of tea, do whatever he wants. He can pick his nose and then throw a pass, and it's a touchdown. It seems like that team can beat you no matter what. They can beat you on a bad day. They can beat you on a bad day. And if you don't believe me, just ask the Miami Dolphins. We just saw in Week 14, we probably watched the worst game that the Chiefs, that the Chiefs have played this year. And the Dolphins played a pretty damn good game. They have a young quarterback who took it to them. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs won with their team, their B team. They won. That's a team that to me really, is head and shoulders above everyone else.
Who would be your pick in the NFC?
I'm going. See, I knew you were going to get there. I'm going to start off with Green Bay. I'm stuck between Green Bay because my other AFC team is the Bills. I don't want to let the Bills go, without mentioning them. Josh Allen having an up and down season, but he's again on the up.
You just said they're going to get smoked. We don't need to get into the Bills.
Oh, okay, sure. Yes. The NFC, I know what you want to get to.
What?
I know what you want to get to. I'm going to mention the Green Bay Packers because Aaron Rodgers has always been one of my top guys, and they've had that defense that's bent but not break, kind of the old Bill Belichick type defenses. But yes, you want to know if I'm picking either the Saints or the Buccaneers. And only because of my man of respect, I'm sticking with the Buccaneers, damn it. I'm sticking with the Bucs. Buccaneers, I know they have not had the season that everyone thought they would have. They're only 8-5. But I will say this. They have Tom Brady. And Tom Brady, that name really weighs a lot. You guys know as well as I do. If he gets into the playoffs, it's a whole different ballgame. All you need to do is get into the playoffs, and it's a whole different ballgame. So I'm going to stick with the Bucs, damn it.
Omar, let's stick a fork in this because we know that this argument's been going on since the Saints blew the doors off of them twice. He's still sticking with the Bucs. All right, he's definitely loyal.
Give him credit.
Yeah, we give him credit
for loyalty.
What do you got? Who are your top picks here in the NFL?
Well, I got to start agreeing with Yuri. Everything he said about Kansas City Chiefs, man, I have to agree. He actually took all the lines that I was thinking about. You know what? Even on the worst day, they can still go and win. And it doesn't even feel like they played bad because the score didn't show it. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 interceptions, probably gave up the ugliest sack you'll ever see in the history of the NFL, and they're still going when it looks like an easy win at the end of the day. So I definitely have the Kansas City Chiefs. After that, man, honestly, you ask me who can I pick after Kansas City if I have another team. It's really hard. Like at the beginning I kept saying Pittsburgh. Everybody kept saying, oh, that's the team to beat too because they were 10-0. But we saw the last 2 weeks, man, they've been exposed. The defense has been exposed, so I'm definitely not picking Pittsburgh. So the next team, man, I hate to agree with Yuri, but it might be, Buffalo is one of the teams I can see going far into the playoff, but the other team is Tennessee. But then if you see Tennessee, because they made it far last year, we remember what they did to the Patriots and to Baltimore, but then they lost this year to Cincinnati. And then they also lost to Cleveland at home. So it makes you wonder, are they really a good team or just a fluke team? So that's
Cleveland's pretty good, though. Cleveland's pretty good.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting Cleveland. But, this was a team that's supposed to be better than Cleveland. They were playing at home, and they still lost to the Browns. So that's why I have my doubts about Tennessee, So that's definitely, I think, a big question mark what the second team will be coming out of the AFC. But in the NFC, Gil, I know you and I are going to agree. I definitely have the Saints. I don't know if Tampa Bay can beat the Saints in the third game, in the playoff. This will be the third time they will face each other. But maybe, after seeing them twice, maybe they know what their flaws are. Then maybe they know they can beat them. And before I choose Tampa Bay, my second team in the NFC have to be Green Bay. You have Devontae Adams and the great Aaron Rodgers. To me, that's the combo for success in the playoffs. So those are the two teams I got in the AFC.
Yeah. I think the NFC is definitely up in the air. I think the AFC. Let's just end this quickly. I just give the Chiefs the Lamar Hunt Trophy already because I don't think anybody's stopping that team for all the reasons you guys mentioned so eloquently mentioned. And the NFC though, I think it's pretty interesting because I think a few things are happening, right? The NFC East has absolutely redeemed itself, right? The Giants have won 4 or 5. The Redskins have had their defense is amazing. 4 straight wins, including beating previously unbeaten Pittsburgh. But I think the cream of the crop, and we mentioned it earlier, in the NFC are the Saints and the Rams. Sorry, Green Bay. Sorry, Tampa Bay. I don't think you guys have. I think honestly, guys, and I know this is blasphemous coming from a Pats fan and a Tom Brady fan, or someone who appreciates everything Brady did for the Pats. But I think Jameis Winston can have this team 8-5. And I think if you look at Godwin, you look at Evans, you look at the talent they have offensively, and he's throwing for 190 yards a game. It's a little cringeworthy, I think. There, Green Bay, I think they're 10-3, but their schedule has been a cakewalk. If you look at their schedule, look at the wins and the teams they've played, they have not played as tough a schedule as the Saints or the Rams. I think the Rams have a very solid defense. I think the Rams can pass or run all over you. I'm going to pick the Rams coming out of the NFC.
Isn't it surprising that no one absolutely even mentioned the Seattle Seahawks? They didn't even mention it.
It's not though, because, and I'm going to give you the props on this. Their defense is terrible. Their defense is terrible. They can't stop anybody. So
they can't stop anyone. Absolutely.
And unless you're the Chiefs and you can literally just score on anybody at will, because the Chiefs defense, it's all right. It's all right, but it's better than Seattle's for sure.
I know we all three of us mentioned this team, but guys, let's give them a little. I think I want to give them a little bit more credit because as much as I hate them, and I mean I don't hate them, but I don't like them since back in the days when I was in the second, third grade when the Cowboys were beating up on them. The Buffalo Bills, and we got to really. I mean, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't go as far as to say what Brett Favre said a few weeks ago. I think that's crazy. But Josh Allen seems like he really is the real deal. The kid he's had an up and down season. He started off strong as an MVP candidate. Then he just fell off for 3, 4, 5 games and just looked like the Josh Allen of old, his first 2 seasons. But all of a sudden, you look at Josh Allen, what he's doing, and teaming up with Stephon Diggs. I mean, is there a duo right now? That's better than Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs in the NFL? A quarterback and wide receiver duo?
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
Russ and Metcalf.
The point is that they're there. I'd say I wouldn't say that they're better. I wouldn't say that they're better. I think that they're just as good. No, better.
And I do want to kind of I'm in 110 team league that is a lot of money, and I have all 3 of those guys. I have Diggs, Adams, and Metcalf on my team. So almost undefeated.
Show off. But anyways, guys, man, it feels like the 2019-2020 NBA season just ended yesterday. But I'm very excited about the new season starting next week already. Many players, many teams, and a lot of storylines to follow this year. Among those, for me, is finally the start of Kevin Durant with his new team, the Brooklyn Nets. Can LeBron James and the LA Lakers repeat as champions? Where would Harden end up this season, or will he stay in Houston? Gil, what are some of the things that you're the most excited about for the upcoming season?
I'm glad, first of all, I want to applaud Giannis for showing loyalty and his commitment to his team and Milwaukee and signing an extension with them. I think you don't see that anymore when you're seeing all these guys get together and try to make super teams, so I like to see Giannis going old school and being like, I'm going to beat the guys myself with the guys that I have, and hopefully he gets a little bit of help there. But
he just said yes to the money. He didn't do it. Are you kidding me? They give that money. They give you that money. You're gonna say no? Forget a super team. Give me that green, baby. Hell
yeah, but I mean, that guy could, he can easily go to the Knicks and get paid and make that more than that in endorsements and stuff like that. So I commend that and doing that. And that is going to have a ripple effect in the league, right? Because there's a lot of teams that we saw before the season sort of setting up their salary caps and kind of putting off signing free agents this year because they thought they had a chance at Giannis. Now that those teams don't, I'm really interested to see if they make a play on Harden. So I'm talking about the Mavericks, I'm talking about the Raptors, I'm talking about the Miami Heat, all these teams that have cap space and thought they were going to have a chance at Giannis. Are they going to make a run at Harden now? And it's interesting hearing all the stories coming out of Houston now. Have you guys heard that shit show that is over there with Harden? Basically, that guy has free reign over whatever he wants. On off days, he charters planes to go to Vegas, and he's out partying. And I don't know if you guys saw him yesterday in the preseason game, but the way Kendrick Perkins says after he looks like he put on some weight, Kendrick Perkins says, he looks like me with a wig.
I think that's a long way to go to get to Kendrick Perkins level.
You know who James Harden has become, who he is right now? You know who he is right now, who I compare him to? And, I mean, he's Manny Ramirez. He's Manny Ramirez with the Red Sox in 2008 or 9 when they had to finally, they pretty much pushed him out when they finally said, okay, fine, you're getting traded. Fine. Go somewhere else. Fine, damn it. The Red Sox didn't want to trade him away. The Red Sox didn't want Manny to go, but he didn't want to be there. That's what James Harden is right now to the Houston Rockets. He's,
and it's crazy. And it's crazy the amount of power that these players have in the NBA as well to be able to do that. I mean, obviously, Ramirez is one of 27, 25 players on the team. Harden, one of 12 and certainly one of the best in the league, and you're starting 5. But I want to see what happens with him and see if he goes to Brooklyn or if he goes to Philly, what happens there. I'm curious to see what happens with the Lakers. The Lakers reloaded. I think they have a stronger team. So barring injury, they're definitely the favorites to repeat. I want to see what year 2 of Zion looks like. So obviously I'm super, super excited and, definitely want to see what happens with COVID in the NBA as well and how they manage that in the season. But I'm very, very excited about the NBA season and, looking forward to the beginning of it. I have a fantasy draft this Sunday that I haven't studied for, but nobody cares.
A lot of big games for sure on Christmas Day. So, we'll be watching those games. So I'm looking forward to that. You're locally, I'm excited about the Celtics. I want to see what Tristan Thompson is going to bring to the team. We all talked last year about, they need a real center. So hopefully, I'm not saying that's the missing piece they still they still need it, but I think it's definitely going to help. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. What are some other things that you're looking forward to the new season?
Well, you know what? First of all, I am excited. Yeah, I'm excited that a new season is starting and whatnot. But I'm also a little skeptical. I mean, I know it seems like it was just two weeks ago we were talking about. We had a topic. We had a topic on here on the podcast. We were talking about, how do you feel about the season starting? It's like, it feels like they were just playing basketball. That's what it feels like, So I am a little skeptical about it. That's one of the things that and actually Gil kind of stole my thunder. I think the biggest topic for me is coming back so early. What kind of impact is that going to have on the older players, especially the LeBron James and stuff. And knowing how one player has such a big impact on the NBA team, on a team like the Lakers, it could be a big risk. Putting a guy like LeBron James or anyone of his age and above, having that much wear and tear, coming back and playing so soon. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to see what kind of, how the injuries things develops. I also am very interested in the non-bubble NBA. Because, guys, let's be honest, we all applauded the NBA and David Sterling for the way that they dominated COVID-19. They really did. They did a great job. But now we're going to watch the NBA non-bubble NBA, and so they're going to be dealing with the same kind of issues that MLB dealt with, that the NFL is currently dealing with. I'm interested to see how the NBA actually learns from their mistakes and what they do to conquer the COVID-19 era. That'll be interesting to me. That to me is actually the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. As far as other teams, I mean, yes, the James Harden thing is at the top of my list. James Harden, when a guy that good, when a player that good makes that much noise to get out of a team, that catches anyone's attention. And obviously all the teams, every single team out there the Boston Celtics, what team is not going to be interested, going to be trying, or at least looking towards Houston, but Houston's not going to want to give them up. Now, as a Boston Celtics fan, guys, I really am interested. And I know you'll take me to task for this because you and I bumped heads with this one. I do think Jason Tatum is the real deal. I think that young kid is the real deal. I think that young kid is a superstar on his way up. And to see the Celtics, give him that contract, give him that peace of mind, the 5-year, $195 million contract. That's telling him, hey, kid, you know what? You're our guy. You are our leader. This team is your team. Now take us home, baby. That's what they're saying to Jason Tatum. Is this really the Jason Tatum time? Is this Jason Tatum's time with the Boston Celtics? Or can the kid really handle it? Can he deliver? I think he can. He has that peace of mind. He doesn't have to worry about the contract. No, just worry about playing basketball. Now you have the playoffs experience. You have a little bit more experience. You're a little bit bigger, better player. Now go show it. I think that's going to be exciting. It's also going to be exciting to know that the Celtics really, I think they're going to have a hard time with their defense. But they're going to need for Brown and Tatum to really carry their offense. That's what the Celtics are going to need. They're going to need for Brown and Tatum, because where else are they going to get their offense from? Where else are they going to get their offense? They don't have Hayward anymore. And as much as I was okay with Hayward going to another team, I do also realize that he was part of their offensive schemes. Now, they're going to need Tatum and Brown to carry the offensive.
Kemba's hurt, but they'll definitely need him when he gets back as well.
Oh yeah, and he's going to come back. What? Maybe February, mid-February.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see that too. I want to see the leap that Jalen and Jason Tatum are able to make, because if they're able to make that leap to that next level and they have 2 All-NBA guys on that team, then it's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So yeah, so that's my big thing, right?
That we're looking for. So
yeah, what are you looking for? What are you looking forward to? Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually, as I mentioned, looking forward to, seeing how Tristan Thompson does. A guy that I dislike when he was in Cleveland, now I'm going to be rooting for him. But, I know he's a good player. He's a good defender. Actually, I know Kendrick Perkins was a big reason why he came here. I know he talked to Perkins, because they're friends from back when Perkins ended his career in Cleveland. So they became friends, and I know he was one of the people that he talked to. He said, hey, look, I think you're the missing piece in Boston. You should definitely go to the Celtics. So I think that's great. I'm looking forward to some of the rookies. Looking forward to some of the rookies on the Celtics. Yesterday, earlier this week, we saw Pritchard. Pritchard made his debut, 16 points. I think that might be, someone that we can count on coming out of the bench. We're going to need scoring off the bench. Yeah. Him and Jeff Teague, too. I think those are the 2 guys that I'm looking forward to seeing as well as some of the new guys on the team.
Yeah. Now, have you come to the light? Have you come to the light and finally accepted that Jason Tatum is the real deal?
No, you know what? It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I love Tatum, but I just felt like he was so inconsistent. You know, last year I felt like you didn't know which Jason Tatum you were going to get every night, and that's why I criticize him. You know, I hope he's the real deal, especially now after all the money he's getting. He better be the real deal. So, you know what? If he can, like Gil said, if he can make the next step, man, I think that you know what the Celtics are going to be definitely a team to deal with.
You notice how he says, "I hope he's the real deal," which implies that he still doesn't think that he's the real deal.
Exactly.
He still doesn't think he's the real deal.
he misses the days of Antoine Walker and the
wiggle.
Ron Mercer.
It's Tatum time, baby. It's Tatum time. All right, guys, moving on. We're going to go hit some Major League Baseball, some baseball time. Guys, the Cleveland Major League Baseball team announced that it will finally be dropping its Indians nickname, a nickname that's been in place for actually over 100 years. My question is simple, guys. What do you think? Is this the right thing to do, or is this just another overreaction to the times that we're living through? It's pretty simple. I'm going to start with you. What do you think, man?
Man, 105 years to be exact, Yuri. I know it's tough. It's hard to swallow, you know, especially, again, you know me, I'm a baseball purist, you know, and I grew up with a lot of these names, you know. I grew up a lot of these names. When we were little, we probably didn't know what the meaning really stood for, you know. But we were fans of some of those names. The Cleveland Indians, I remember the name was one of my favorite names. But, you know, now as we grow up and we realize that some of these names are offensive to certain groups, to certain cultures, you know what? We're at a different time. So we have to realize that anything that is offensive to any group, to anybody, maybe doesn't have any place anymore in sports, you know? That's what I look at it. So I think it's time to some of those names to be gone. I know we might get nostalgic and we'll be like, oh, but, you know, we grew up with those names. But I feel like as long as it keeps still hurting people's feelings, still being offensive to certain people, we shouldn't use them. And you know what? And Washington started it last year, the Washington football team. You know, I know now Cleveland's going to do it. Other teams have said they're not going to change the name, like the Chicago Blackhawks, you know, the Atlanta Braves. So, but I think little by little, some of these teams are also going to follow. And as you know, as the Cleveland owner, Paul Dolan said, the name is no longer acceptable in our world. And I think that's what it is. You know, like if we realize that names like this are not acceptable for certain groups, they have to go.
I don't know that was acceptable in 1990, but I'm gonna go with you, Gil. I mean, not everybody's on board with this. Not everybody agrees with this. I mean, this is a name that it does have its historical background. It does, does have its meaning to a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, you know what, this shouldn't be considered a pejorative word. It's if anything, it's us praising the indigenous culture. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's a bunch of snowflakes complain. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. Look, cue the people that are going to say, "What are you going to come after the Chiefs, Braves, Blackhawks, or something?" Look, this is different. Those names are different, right? Chiefs and Braves, they refer to brave warriors, right? Blackhawks and Seminoles refer to tribes. It's not calling somebody Indian, which was a name that was made up by a colonizer who thought he was in freaking India, right? And then also a name made up by the U.S. government who has suppressed these people's rights for years. They suppressed their rights, took their land away, slaughtered them, everything else. Let's not get into the whole, backstory of all that
US
stuff.
history?
And U.S. history. Let's not get into all that. So listen, I applaud Cleveland for making this decision. I applaud it because the bottom line is if your name is offensive to any group, then it shouldn't be a name, and you shouldn't be wearing it on shirts and printing it everywhere and be all over the place. So I applaud that, and that's the beauty of this country, guys, right? We evolve, and we evolve as a society, and we evolve, and things, we realize things are wrong, things are right, whatever it is. But look, again, I will rephrase it. Chiefs, Braves, Blackhawks, Seminoles, those aren't offensive terms. Redskins and Indians with a Chief Wahoo with a big nose and a red face, that's freaking offensive, guys. So I'm really, really glad. And also spare me the oh, boo-hoo, I'm never going to watch baseball again because they're a bunch of snowflakes. Look, if that's the case, then peace. See you later. You were never a fan of the game anyways.
You're not a sports fan. True.
I agree. You're going to be a fan of your team regardless if you're a true fan. Now, to me, guys, you know what? I agree with what both of you are saying. The one thing that I will add is it's about damn time let's be honest, it's about damn time. Guys, we talked about this last week in a way. I forget what the topic was, but I remember saying to you guys, baseball just takes forever to make a decision. Baseball takes forever to make a decision, and baseball just resists to any change. The baseball culture is such, and guys, I've been in it for pretty much my entire life. The baseball culture is one that, it's stuck in its ways, and it's going to hold on, until its knuckles are turning white, until it can't hold on any longer, until finally, it has to let go. To me, it's about damn time. Guys, it took approximately 16 years for the Cleveland, it's still the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Indians team to get rid of Chief Wahoo, their mascot, Chief Wahoo. 16 years after the first protest. It was first protested in 2000, and it wasn't until 2016 when Rob Manfred finally said something about it that they got rid of it. 16 years to get rid of that thing. Come on, that's absurd. So not trying to make it a negative thing. I applaud them to finally come to their senses, but it's just like everything in baseball. It's about damn time. I mean, let's get with it. Let's get with it. You can't call someone an Indian and think you're not going to get your ass kicked because you deserve it. Simple as that. Now, it does, and I do recognize that it does have its historical background. I was actually reading up on it, and I knew some of the story. I didn't get into so much depth, so I didn't know all of it as much as I've read while I was getting ready for this thing. But this is a team that was called, they were known as the Cleveland Spiders. They were known as the Cleveland Spiders in 1890 until Louis Sockalexis stormed into the league.
Little Louis.
Well, good old Louis Sockalexis. He was the first Native American, or actually first non-white ball player to play in Major League Baseball. He actually played for the Cleveland Spiders. What happened is that then white America, whenever Sockalexis was playing, they started calling them the Cleveland Indians. And it wasn't in support of the Cleveland baseball team. Obviously, it was mocking the Cleveland Spiders because they weren't the Cleveland Indians. They were the Cleveland Spiders.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
There it is.
Hey, Yuri, thank you for teaching me something today.
We need that little star, like, pring, the more you know. Well, guys, we've reached the final segment of this show here, the chacletazo or abrazo, where we give somebody either a hug or a spanking, and based on what they did this week. So let's start off with you. Who do we want to go first with, I think, because I know you guys are afraid of somebody stealing your thing. Let's go with you, O. What do you got this week?
Oh, all right, I didn't mind. You know what? I feel like since we're in the Christmas giving mood, if somebody stole my thunder today, I would still say it because it needs to be said, guy. Well, since, like I say, we're in the Christmas season, I'm in the giving mood, and I just want to give a calurosos abrazos to our families, our friends, and our fans, and all the people that have been supporting this project since day one when we started Tres Leches Sports. So I really wanted to give everybody an abrazo for all the support that we got in this year. But my biggest abrazo, guys, goes to you both. Thank you for the laugh, the back and forth, all the arguments throughout the year. But most importantly, and I mean it, thank you for the friendship and for the brotherhood. And especially in a year when we needed all the love and support we could get. Thank you, guys. And for that, un fuerte abrazo para los dos. Thank you.
Thank you. You did it again.
Thank you, my man.
Did it again. What do you have, Yuri?
You still suck.
You stole my abrazo.
You know what? I'm going to pretty much just hop on, piggyback on that with you. I was actually mine as well. But I'll just add to it. I want to give an even bigger abrazo to myself. I'm making that phone call I'm joking, guys. Absolutely to you guys as well as, hey guys, we've busted our asses doing this, and it's something that we had discussed over the years. For a while, we just, we needed a kick in the butt. We finally gave ourselves a kick in the butt. We got down to it, and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm enjoying this time with you guys, and just let's keep it going. So big abrazo to all of us. Thank you very much. I also got to give a big abrazo to the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. 66 years ago, Wednesday of this week, 66 years ago, Willie Mays became the first player to win the MVP award in his first full season in Major League Baseball. Back then, a 23-year-old Mays had made his debut in 1951, but he ended up missing in the following 2 seasons to service in the U.S. Army. Came back and won the MVP award in his first full season. So the Say Hey Kid, the greatest ball player, is still alive. Here's a big abrazo to you, my man. Congratulations and happy holidays.
Yeah. Kids that don't know Willie Mays, look it up. YouTube him. Guys, well, okay, now that you made me say it, a big hug to you guys, I guess. And,
don't say it if you don't mean it.
Thanks for everything, and happy holidays and all that stuff. No. This has been a lot of fun to do, and it only took a pandemic to get us to do it. So, but it's been a lot of fun. So, big hug to you both, and I'm gonna give a big, sticking to this here. I'm gonna give a big chancletazo, because I love giving those to Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. If he's considering not playing for the New York Jets. Now, let me explain myself. I know the Jets are horrible. I know they're arguably one of the worst franchises in the league, but if the Jets
arguably
forces to be traded, yeah, you can say Jacksonville's up there. The Jets have one winning season since 2010. I get that, but who wouldn't want to go win in the Big Apple? Seriously, like imagine if he's able to turn that team's fortune around. That their fans are so passionate, and even though we hate them, they're our rival, our division rival. They're New York, everything else, and we're the Pats. But guys, wouldn't it be a great story if you're the person who's able to come in, turn that team around, turn that franchise around? For the love of God, Joe Namath still makes commercials, and he won way back in 1969. So, Trevor Lawrence, take the challenge up. If you get drafted by the Jets, play for them and see what you can do. Because also, I think it also puts you in the front running for who that next coach is going to be, right? Because God knows Adam Gase is not going to come back for next year. But so that's my big chunk of that. So only if he decides he does not want to go to the Jets.
Maybe he's not made for it. Not everybody's made for the big market cities.
If they say you're a generational talent, then I think you should take the biggest challenge offered to you, and that's definitely the biggest challenge.
Can you imagine if I'm the guy who wins the next Mega Bucks, the next Mega Millions, the next whatever, the next lottery? Can you imagine that? It's like you saying, imagine if Trevor Lawrence is the guy who can turn that franchise around, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm sorry. Trevor, watch out for yourself. Take care of yourself. And dude, forget his chocolatazo. Just do what you think is right, bro. Get yours. Get yours.
He's got a lot better chance of playing for the Jets and turning the Jets around than you have of winning the Mega Bucks, first of all. But second of all, I don't agree with the precedent this creates. So every number one pick, I don't want to play there, blah, blah, blah. Get out of here.
It's been created. No, it's been, first of all,
drafted by your team.
First of all, no, it doesn't create that. It's already been created. And second of all, I understand it because the guy, he's not even a kid. I can't call him a kid. He's been working his entire life for this. He's dedicated his entire life for this. He's given up so much for this. And you know as well as I know, especially in that sport, your life, your career, your life can be completely destroyed by going to the wrong organization, especially in that sport. In one game, in one practice, all your hard work for 20-some-odd years, all your sacrifices can be completely derailed.
He has no idea who the coach is going to be, no idea who the coaching staff is going to be.
He knows what the sport is.
So he should make that decision based on
that. He knows who the owner is. He knows who the owners are going to be.
So what is he going to go? Cincinnati or like, I mean, they have a quarterback anyways. But
yeah,
I don't like the precedent it sets. I know that Elway did it. I know that Eli Manning did it.
All right, then. And how'd it work out for them?
Well, Elway had a little leverage. He also got drafted to play Major League Baseball, and he was threatening to go play Major League Baseball. But I think I just don't like the precedent. I'm sorry.
I get you.
You get drafted by the team that drafts you. You play for that team.
I think we just hit on the first topic in the new year. I think we just found our first topic for the new year. Trevor Lawrence, brother, give me a call. Give me a call, bro. I got you back.
Omar, he talks about you being flip-floppy, but I don't understand here. So he complains about NBA players joining forces and making their own decision and choosing their own destination there. But he applauds Trevor Lawrence and get out.
Hey, what do we get Omar? Hey, Omar, what did you do with my team? Try to convince Omar. Hey, Omar,
I accept it. I'll accept it. You already doesn't accept it. But Gil, you know what? Let me end it on this, man. During the Christmas season, we'll give him a hug. You always gotta be the one to come out without chancletazo. Thanks.
Well, guys, we won't be back till 2021. So, on behalf of Omar, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Have a great New Year. 2021, hopefully a lot better than 2020 was. And we'll see you guys here next year. So, peace out, guys.
Feliz Navidad.
Holidays.